Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our better version. Today I want to share with you my income strategy for 2026. And this is the exact blueprint that I'm going to use to diversify and increase my total income. And what I'm going to share is not some get rich quick schemes or some get rich quick tactics, but I'm really sharing a portion of my long-term strategy or my long-term plan when it comes to building wealth and achieving financial freedom. So these are the things that I'm doing to propel me faster to my goal of financial freedom. And the first area that I'm going to start with is something that a lot of us really make a big mistake on. And the mistake is when it comes to our primary income or our salaries, we treat it as a safety net. However, this is not a safety net. Your primary income or your salary, it's definitely not a safety net because it comes and goes. There is no deep sense of security when it comes to that. It's something that can come and it's something that can go. And once you lose your job, whether you are fired or retrenched, then that tap is turned off. And once it's turned off, then you have nothing. So it's not really as secure as most of people think it is. So regardless of where you work, your salary is not a safety net. And how we should be viewing our salaries or our primary incomes is as a funding source. That is a source that gives you money to fund certain things in your life. That is basically what it is. And having only one salary also means you have one single point of failure. If that one thing turns off or if that one job doesn't work out, then you are left in the open and you do not have security in terms of income. So let's view our salaries as a funding source instead of viewing it as a safety net. And my strategy here is to use a portion of my primary income or my salary to buy predictable income generating assets. That is my first strategy. So I'm going to use a portion of that income to buy into assets that can give me predictable income. And I will do so in 4 areas. Number 1, I'll put a portion of my money in exchange traded funds. If you have listened to my videos before, you know I love ETFs, which are the exchange traded funds. And I love a good global ETF. I also do have local, but my main focus when it comes to ETFs is to have a large portion of my money in global ETFs because I know I get better diversification. So I'll be putting money in my ETFs and I'll also be putting money in individual stocks. I have a few local individual stocks and I have a few global individual stocks. And when I say local, I am referring to South Africa. I am not referring to Namibia. So ETFs, global, local, a few individual stocks, also local, global. And the third place I'm putting some of my income is buying real estate investment trusts, which are REITs. And what I love about REITs is that if you are somebody who does not like physical property, or maybe you cannot afford physical property, or perhaps you are not even ready yet to buy physical property, REITs are another way of you owning real estate because you are buying into a trust that owns a whole lot of real estate. And the good thing also with REITs is that they are mandated by law to pay out dividends. So you know it's predictable that whether it's every month or every quarter or biannually, you will receive dividends. You might not know exactly how much dividends you are going to get or how much money in dividends that is going to be paid out to you, but you have that predictability to say every single quarter or every single month or biannually, I am expecting a certain amount of money that is being paid to me from me owning my REITs. So that was the third place I'm putting a portion of my income. And the fourth one is me investing in my skills. So the strategy here is to invest in a skill that I can monetize or skills that can generate me more money. And that way I get a return on my investment. So as you can see, I have the different assets where I am putting money into, but I am also increasing my skill set so that I am able to make more money. And the more money I make, the more I'm able to buy the other assets, and the more money I'm able to get from those assets. So the dividends and the capital appreciation that I'll get from the ETFs, the stocks, and the REITs, that is money that is buying me back my time little by little. That is money that can help me to get out of the rat race and to achieve financial freedom, because with time and because of compound interest, those investments are able to grow, and one day I am also able to live off from the dividends, or for me selling portions of my investments so that I can fund the lifestyle that I want. So really for me, the goal here is not to get rich instantly. I know this is a long game. I know it's not something that is going to happen next year. It's not going to happen in 2 years, but it's something that is going to take a while. And if you have listened to some of my videos before, you know that I am on my financial freedom journey, and I have started taking my finances seriously since 2015. That is like 10 years ago. And I don't mind going for another 10, 20 years doing the same, because I know I have targets, I have a plan, and within that plan I'll come to a point where my investments are giving me enough income to fund my lifestyle, and I'll get to that point where I can now say, do I want to work or do I not want to work? And if I do want to work, what am I going to work on, and who do I work with? I will have choices. I will have that freedom to actually decide what it is that I want to do with my life. So it is a long game, and it's something that if you are in a hurry, you will get frustrated and you give up. But for me, I am using my primary income to fund these income generating assets that I know in the long run I will be able to live off from either the dividends or selling parts of my assets that have appreciated in value. And apart from this buying me freedom, it also removes financial anxiety from me. Knowing that I am making provision for my future and my future is secured, it gives me relief. It takes fear out, or fear of unknown, out of my planning, and it gives me a peace of mind. So really for me, investing in those income generating assets is not only about a play that is related to financial freedom and getting out of the rat race, but it's also about me removing vulnerability and really making sure that my financial future is secure. And now we come to the second part of my income strategy. And a lot of us were sold this dream that you can get passive income with zero effort, with zero money, zero anything, and you just sleep and the money is just coming. And that is an illusion. It's not true. For you to get passive income, you have to have either one of two things. One is active skills. If you have active skills, those active skills can then buy you that income, because then you are going to exchange those skills either to build a product that you sell to customers and you get paid, or it's a service that you are going to do that is related to that skill that then people pay you for, and then you make money. The other one is the capital investment. The one that doesn't require your skill will require you to put money down to be able to generate money from that. And investing in the stock market is one of those capital investment type of assets, because you have to put in money, and that money is then given a chance to grow and multiply, and also given a chance to pay you dividends. So it's not just you waking up and then you have these thousands or millions that are coming in your bank account without you either putting in money or exchanging a skill that you have to actually generate that money. And when it comes to skills, my strategy here is for me to use what I call bridge income. And my bridge income is income that I'm getting from a skill that I already have. So I generate money from a skill that I already have. That could be writing, it could be consulting, it could be many different things to many different people. But basically the focus is to say I already have a certain skill and I'm going to monetize this skill so that I get money off of that skill. And the money that I'm getting from there is now what I call bridge income, and that income goes directly from that side income or side business or side idea directly into my investments. So this money, I only have one rule when it comes to this money: it does not touch my lifestyle. It's not money that I get and then I go shopping or I upgrade my phone or I upgrade my whatever. It's money that is strictly going to be used from that side hustle. It lands in my investment accounts automatically, so it does not touch my lifestyle. And the main purpose of this bridge money, it's just for it to accelerate my portfolio growth. I want my portfolio to grow, and any side income that I get outside of my primary income, it strictly goes into investments so that it can accelerate my portfolio growth and I get closer to my goal of financial freedom. So basically that means if I make an additional 2,000 a month, that 2,000 will come from that source of income straight into my investment accounts. Then I can buy more REITs, I can buy more ETFs, I can buy more individual stocks. Or it's money that I then put towards a skill that can also generate me more money. So it's really, the main purpose is really just to increase my portfolio. Then we come to the third part of my income strategy, which is diversification. We live in emerging markets. We live in countries where we have a lot of volatility in terms of our currencies. Whatever that I am investing in, I am making sure that I am diversified. And here I am going to make sure that my investments are diversified geographically, and they are diversified in the different asset classes, in different sectors, and also in different industries. And you can do this also for yourself, because you do not want your money to be held in one single country. You don't want all your investments to be in one single sector. Let me say it's agriculture. And you also do not want your money to be held just in one industry. So you really have to look at your own strategy also in terms of diversification. Are you diversified enough? I know there are people who are holding too much cash, and most of the time that cash is held in your local bank account. If something happens in your country, what happens to that cash? And for me, the strategy here is really just to make sure that my ETFs and my REITs, they have global exposure. I always want to maintain global exposure so that if something is happening somewhere, other areas of the world are fine and things are working. And that is why, in terms of risk, when you are in a well-diversified global ETF, your risk is much lower, because when one area is not doing well or one side is not doing well, the other sides that are doing well actually make up for that difference. So you don't see a lot of fluctuations, and in the end, things tend to balance themselves out and you do not end up losing your money. So that strategy, really also look at it for yourself. Where is your money held? Don't hoard cash. Only keep cash that is meant for your emergency fund and cash that is meant for your sinking fund. The rest of it should be in investments. If you are a physical property person, buy your physical property. If you are a person who wants to rather invest in REITs, put that money in REITs. ETFs, put that money in ETFs. Whatever you feel is the asset class or it's the place that you feel comfortable putting your money in, do so. If you are a government bonds person, put some of your money in government bonds. For me personally, I have not been putting money in government bonds, and that is because my financial plan or my strategy is not allowing me to do that at the moment. I have a set target age when I want to de-risk my investments a little bit and become a bit more conservative, and that is the age when I'll start putting some of my money in government bonds. But as of now, I am more focused on aggressive and moderate investments. I am not looking at conservative investments at all for now. Unless it's for short-term sinking fund for a specific goal, all that money is going into aggressive and moderate investments, because that is part of my financial plan. When you have your own financial plan, you will know exactly what you are supposed to do, and if you have age targets and you have amount targets, you work according to that. You don't just copy things because you heard people are talking about something, then you jump in when it's not part of your plan. Really craft your plan nicely when it comes to your income, when it comes to your investments, so that you make the right decisions for you. So there you have it. That is my income strategy for 2026. The first one is to build what I call an income base or an income flow by putting money in income generating assets that have potential to grow, and one day I am able to live off either of the dividends or sell some of it that has appreciated and live off those proceeds. That is the first portion of my strategy. And the second portion is for me to use what I call bridge income, where I have side businesses or side hustles, and all the money that is coming from those skills that I'm using to earn money goes directly into my investments, and the main goal there is to accelerate my portfolio growth. And the rule that I have when it comes to that is that that money is not to fund my lifestyle. And the third part of my income strategy for this year is to make sure that I am diversified. So I am diversified, or I will make sure that I'm diversified in terms of geography, in terms of asset classes, in terms of sectors and industries within those sectors. And with that said, I want you to look at your own plan for the year. Do you have an income strategy for the year? If you don't, think about putting something together. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be fancy, but it has to speak to the goals that you have for yourself and also speak to your current life in terms of your income, in terms of your expenses, really your financial situation. Don't put things that are like wild dreams that you know in your current situation you are not going to be able to achieve them. Make it very realistic. And even if it's only one goal when it comes to your income, maybe the goal for you is just to keep as much money as possible from what you earn. So regardless of what it is, just have a plan for your income for this year. What do you want your income to do for you? What is the strategy that you are setting aside for your income for 2026? Think about it, come up with something for yourself. And this is something that forms part of your money system. And money systems is something that I assist my coaching clients to set up for themselves. Each one of us should have a money system, and a money system touches on different parts of your finances, and it helps you to actually achieve your financial goals. If you are blindly going after your financial goals, it doesn't work. You need to have a system in place, and within that system you need to build the right habits and you need to take the right actions in order for you to get there. So if you do need help to come up with your own money system, reach out to me. I can assist you to do that. So that is my income strategy for the year. If you found the video valuable, please share it with the next person. Let's build a community that is building wealth together, because I genuinely want us to learn and grow our wealth together. I will see you over here.